Hey guys, it's Trish from Trish's Card Club, recorded live from Orlando. How are you guys? Welcome back. Happy Wednesday night. Hump day. It's been a short work week. We got a lot of things to be thankful for, so I am very happy. Let's see, and a few business things to cover. So my last video on Sunday, it was a little stilted, and someone sweetly reached out and asked me if I was okay, because sometimes I just can't find words. And I was very blessed and touched that this person was concerned, and I assured them, I think I'm okay. But you're right, sometimes I just can't find words. And I explained to them, part of it is I think I get a little bit nervous when I'm doing my live videos, mostly because they're live and unedited, and so whatever you see is what you get. And I also am a little bit overly concerned about taking too much up of your time. I want my videos to be succinct so that we don't, cut in too much of your time after work and stuff. So I'm going to try to slow down and not be quite so nervous, and hope that I find my words a little better. And not to worry about me, I'm doing okay. So that's first housekeeping. Second housekeeping is, yep, I still got them on. So I'm loving them, absolutely loving them, although they are a nuisance. I used to have acrylic nails many, many years ago, probably 20 years ago, actually, and loved them then. And I have always loved the look of nails, but it does totally slow you down. Totally slows you down. So we'll see how I get through tonight. I don't have too much stamping to do with ink blocks, with stamp-on blocks, so we should do okay. Alrighty, so those are the housekeeping things. Again, happy Wednesday. Let's get started. Tonight we're going to do a card using some DSP, and we're going to talk about the Stamparatus, because remember, I've been kind of doing a little bit of each time, trying to, I think Marianne is asking, what is the brand of my nails? It's the OPI Press-On Nails. OPI is the brand, Press-On Nails. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the Stamparatus. It's a tool that I haven't talked about in a long time, and I'm still very passionate about it. We just haven't used it, so we're going to use it tonight. Okay, so if you did the paper share, you have plenty of paper. If you didn't do the paper share, I'm convinced you still have plenty of paper. So tonight we're going to be using the paper that's Sweet Symmetry. And then the colors here are the colors of Stampin' Up! That coordinate with this designer series paper. So we're going to be using this piece right here, and I'm kind of trying to block my Stamparatus a little bit, because there's going to be a pretty significant glare once I take the paper off. So this one, I think we're okay. I think it's when I take it off, that one. So the way that tonight's going to work, because I'm limited in space that I can capture on the video, I'm going to do the Stamparatus first, make the card, and then I'm going to show you how I set up the Stamparatus at the end of the video. Alrighty? So, first thing we're going to do is take a piece of regular basic white cardstock that's cut 4 inches by 5 1/4, and we're going to put that on the Stamparatus. And tonight I'm going to be using the colors Just Jade and Calypso Coral. And we're going to start with, I think we'll start with Calypso Coral. It'll be easier on your eyes, trust me. So excuse my reach. I'm going to put some ink on my stamp, bring it down. Oops, I'm missing ink on the happy. It's not laying flat, you guys. It's kind of tucked up against my camera, so it's a little bit hard to get ink on it without, and I'm getting ink everywhere, so, but it shouldn't be a problem. Let me see if this is going to work. I might have to re-ink it. Let's see. Happy. Oh yeah, that inked terrible. All right, let me move the whole thing down. Bear with me. Now it's a little flatter. Now the beauty of the Stamparatus is you can ink up again, and you can press back down, and it will come in the exact same position, and it'll be perfect. Now don't worry if you've never seen this before, you don't know what the Stamparatus is. Like I said, I'm going to show you at the end. Okay, now this one I'm going to use the Just Jade on. Oh, and I should have told you what stamp set I'm using. I will tell you that in 1 second. I am using, I know it's blinding, so I am using Biggest Wishes photopolymer set. And this is a great set. There's so many fun things that you can do with it. By the way, this card was inspired by Mary Fish. Mary Fish is one of the top demonstrators at Stampin' Up. She's an amazing, amazing card maker, and I love her style. So, of course, when I saw this card, I was like, oh, I can do that, and I can show my customers, and they'll have ways to use their designer series paper up. So then I'm going to put this down, just pressing with my hand. Normally, I would be doing this with you guys. I have an eraser that I use, but it's not anywhere near my desk, so I'm not going to. Let me see if that'll pop up. Okay, now, you see how that came out, you guys? The B and the H, they're not nice and full as like my Y. So all you do is you just go back, ink it up again. Make sure I have plenty of ink on the Y and the H. I just re-inked my pad, so it should have plenty of ink on it. It looks like it does, but can't really tell. Okay, well, let's see how that works. Let's give it a push down. You see how I'm kind of getting ink all over. Oh, that came out good. All right, so there's Happy Birthday. So there's the card base. I'm going to take that out of the way. I'm going to move the Stamparatus, and we'll come back to it later. And now I'm going to get my cutter. And that'll probably have a glare on it too. And I'm going to try to move my camera back a little bit. Thanks for your patience on that. Now, so I put the paper somewhere that we're going to use. Here it is right here. Okay, so this is the direction of the paper. And I want a piece of designer series paper that's going to fit on my card right here like this. So I need my pattern to go like that. Very easy. So what I'm teaching you, you just have to know the difference between if your paper is going this way or like in another paper that I have, if your pattern is going this way. See the difference, you guys? If I cut the paper in half this way and I made my little strips of paper like that, then my flowers would be going sideways. So you just have to be conscious of your pattern. Some patterns really matter. Some patterns don't matter at all. You just have to be conscious of it. So this one, I definitely need the patterns to go like this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my paper to 5 1/4. And then I'm going to cut it again to 5 1/4. And that's going to leave me a little bit of paper left over. So if I wanted to, I could use this on one of my envelopes. That's one of the ways that I could do it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to cut it in 1 1/2 inch strips. And this 1 6-inch by 12-inch piece of designer series paper is going to allow me to make 8 cards. Now, this is fantastic if you have to get a lot of cards made quickly and get them out for the month. This is a fantastic way to do it. So now I have 8 pieces that are 1 1/2 inches by 5 1/4. So that worked out really, really well. All right, let's move this out of the way. Let's bring this back to the card base. We're going to put that right there, like that, with some glue. Right to the edge. I'm putting it there and putting it right up there to the edge, like that. Now let's see. Yep, it's not sticking out. And then I have some Calypso coral ribbon that I'm going to use to put on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on all 4 sides because I'm gluing this down. And I'm going to take my Calypso coral ribbon. I'm going to put it kind of down the middle. Now I'm tucking it around because I already have glue right there. And I'm going to just make sure it's even. And then I'm going to tuck it around again there because I have some glue there. But because this ribbon is a little thicker and I want to really make sure it stays on my card, I'm going to put glue all on the top of it. And then I'll just do one more strip down the middle. Now I've already got a a basic white thick cardstock base. So I've cut and scored that already. And I'm going to put this on top of it. And then I think this becomes a very cheery happy birthday card to send. Perfect for this time of the year. Happy, happy birthday. That's how simple the card is. So you literally could duplicate this and you would get 8 cards out of that one strip of 6 by 12-inch designer series paper. So how easy is that? So that's the card. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back to my Stamparatus and just do a little bit more on that. But first, let me wipe all the ink off. Okay. Now, the other thing is, do I have a piece of paper? Yes, I do. Okay. So, if you've never seen the Stamparatus before, it's a stamp positioning tool, and it has two, or it has two plates that come off, and they just go right in there. And so you can put stamps on this side and this side, and then you could literally take it off, flip it over, and put stamps on this side and that side. So in one setup, you could do 4 stamps, but we're not going to do that. We don't have to get that complicated for the first time around. Now, I like to set up my paper, excuse my reach. Oh, I don't have a paper. I'll have to keep talking and get a piece of paper. I thought I had an extra piece of paper cut. So sorry, folks. So sorry. I would ask you to tell me how your Wednesday is, but this is a one-way conversation, isn't it? Good thing I like to talk to myself. All right, there's that. And then that. Okay, so there's the paper in the corner. Now I do mine up here. Some people will do it down here in this corner, but I prefer it to be up in this corner. So I know I'm getting it right to the edge. And then it comes with 2 magnets. I generally only use 1. So with this one, obviously I'm putting the magnet up here because if I put the magnet down here, my happy birthday would get in the way. Make sense? Now, setting it up this way using both plates allows me to use 2 different colors. If all 3 of my words were the same, then I wouldn't have to use 2 plates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one off, and I'm going to just quickly cover that, just to keep you from getting blinded by that. I think you are still getting blinded. There you go. So what you do is you take your stamp and you place it where you want it to go on your card, obviously with no ink on it. Now, how did I know that I wanted my stamp to go there? Is it on camera? I think it's on camera. I knew my stamp wanted to go there because I knew I was cutting my paper to 1.5 inches in width. And I knew that was going to, but almost right up to the end of the B. So that's how come I knew beforehand where I needed my stamp to go. Now, this is the side that you're going to ink. That's the side that goes down onto your paper. So there's that. Happy birthday. Then you take your piece of plexiglass and you rub it. So it's going to now stay on here. Now, this one I didn't clean it very good. Did you see the marks? So I'm just going to flick it over because my green was still on there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my green ink and I'm going to ink it up. And then I'm, oops, obviously that's in the wrong place. Put that up there, bring this down, and then just rub my thumb over it. And that will bring the ink onto the paper. Ta-da! Happy birthday. Now, if I wasn't doing another color, I'd be ready to take this and go do another card, but I wanted to take the word happy and do happy birthday. So now I take the happy stamp and I put that above. And this one, because pretend this is really happening, I would want to make sure that that stamp was very clean because you only have to set this up once, but you want to make sure when you're setting it up that you're not bringing ink. So let's see how I did on this one. A little bit, but that's not going to be really a big worry because I'm going to stamp right over that. So then I'm going to bring this down. Now, lots of times what we do with this is we take an ink, a stamp set, and we put it underneath it to give it a nice flat surface. And then we take our ink and we just ink it like that. That's the best way to do it to get the best coverage. But this is not lying flat because of the way my camera is, so that's why it's a little cattywampus. So then we just go like this, give it a little rub. And ta-da! Isn't that cool? So if it didn't come out, like let's say for some reason the white didn't come out, I just ink it back up, pull it back down, press it, and it will cover it up. So that's the Stamparatus. That's one of many things that can do. I'm not showing you all the tricks and trades of the Stamparatus. I'm just moving that again, trying not to blind you guys. But that's just one of the tricks of the Stamparatus. But it's fantastic for word stamps, to get the position of them to be just exactly where you want them. That's really fantastic. All right, I think that's it for tonight's class. tonight's sharing. Sorry, it's not a class. Class is coming up next weekend. I'm very excited to see you guys that are going to be able to come. I think that's it. You know the rules around here. We make it and we mail it. I know there's lots of people out there watching, so I thank you very much for doing that. I can't see everybody, but I can see a few people and want to say hello, and that it's always good to see you guys come. I hope you got some good ideas tonight for how to use some of your Designer Series paper, either that you just got or that you have in your stash. Remember, make it, mail it, because a card has the power to change someone's life. All right, you guys have a really good couple days. I'll see you Sunday night.